You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. The truth will always be. Now, let me give a special shout out to legendary jazz musician Pat Metheny, because he has a song of that name, and you know, it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite songs, and I ain't gonna get into the song, but I'm giving him a shout out because this is, it's the same title as the song. But the truth will always be, and you think about what's truth. Well, one, there's objective truths, like the sun will shine, at least objective for now. It's water is wet, stuff like that. 1 + 1 is 1. 2. 1 times 1 is 1. But math, those are objective truths. But the reality is truth. What's the reality of the situation? Now, we have different perceptions of that reality because of our own conditionings and everything. But regardless of our perceptions, it's always there. It's like a saying I've heard in different places. The truth has 3 sides: my side, your side, and the actual truth. And that truth, that reality, what's actually happened, it will always be there. You can't change it. Now, your perception of it, of course, changes. And what you see of it changes. And how you perceive it can change. You can see that truth one day. You can see the reality of a situation one day. And because of how you feel and your conditions at that moment, you perceive it one way. But then you see that same truth a year later. And because of personal growth or new perspectives, you see it something totally different. But that truth hasn't changed. That truth and the reality hasn't changed. This is what it is, And like I said, it ultimately is, it's our perceptions of it. Like one example of a truth is when somebody has a definite feeling. Like, here's an example. You're in a relationship with someone. People know me for relationships. Why not use an example? You're in a relationship with someone. This person never really loved you. That's the truth. That's a statement of truth right there. This person didn't love you. That was always the case. Now, somebody perceived it, like you can perceive it as, well, they felt this way about me, but they changed. Or somebody came into the picture and did something to change it, to break us up. But the real truth of it is they never loved you. Or the real truth of a job is it was always a crappy job. That's the reality of it. Or the reality is some plan you had would have never worked. And that will always be. It would have never worked for you. Now, even then, you still get some on a philosophical level. You can say, well, maybe it would have worked. No, this is what happened. Another reality is the past. It's already happened. It's not going to change. In fact, that's really the best example. If something specifically happened in the past, like a building fell, that's a truth. You were fired for a certain reason from a job. That's a truth. You got a job at this place at this time. That's the truth. That will always be. And that's the reality. You can't change that. As soon as it's happened, if you say, well, okay, I'm gonna turn this podcast off at 4:07 into the podcast. All right. You turn it off. You turn it back on. The truth is you turned it off at 4:07, you turned it back on to start at 4:07. That's always the truth. It will always be. Now, this can be abstract because, as I said, there's some truths that are subjective. There's some that are more objective. If something has happened, that's the truth. It will always be. The reality of a situation will always be. That person never loved you. You make a certain amount of money. That's the truth. You graduated from school or graduated from a college, high school, trade school, beauty school. That's the truth. That will always be. You can't take that away. That's documented truth. That will always be. And the truth will always be. Now, you can have the choice of changing a reality. You can change your future. That's not set in stone. Even then, certain truths will always be. The past on how you got to that point will always be. Think about it. It will always be. Now, the key is to accept it. Can you accept that truth that's happened to you? Can you accept that person didn't love you? Can you accept that the reason why you lost that job was not because they dislike you or they had it out for you, but you kept showing up late and not actually doing the work? And it's not always a bad thing. It could be a truth that you worked hard to accomplish that degree. It's a truth that you were able to build a home by yourself or restore a car. It's a truth that you had to change out your toilet. Because this happened. It happened. It was objective. You can't change that. You can't say, well, it was somebody else. No, nobody else is there. They do it. And that's the key word, acceptance. Acceptance of truth. Acceptance that this happened. But it doesn't have to be your future if it's a bad thing. And if it's a good thing, you can build on it. Because you knew it happened. You knew you accomplished this goal. You made a certain amount of money on a job. Shoot, you lost a certain amount of weight. Shoot, you were able to have this child or this children with this person. Those are always there. You can't take them away. It's happened. Now, from those truths, what do? You learn from those truths. You learn from that stuff. You build on it. You can use that truth to know that you're able to accomplish this because you accomplished it before. Yeah, you can put that toilet in, or you can build, you can work on a particular type of job because there was a truth. You worked on that type of job before. You have skills in this. That's a truth. And the truth will always be. So, anyway. That's all I have for now. Think on this. Keep rising and transforming. Peace.